Alright, so my 2011 BMW 535 water pump went out. How do I know? It overheats, for one. Certain times it overheats. The heater doesn't work sometimes. It blows cold in the winter. And if you do a test, you could see when you pop this lid off, there's no radiator fluid pushing out of this little nozzle here. There's a nozzle inside. It should be shooting out when the car's on. Alright, so there's a test on how to figure that out. I'll put a link in the description onto a video of someone else on how you can test to see if your water pump is bad. Alright, so I know my water pump's bad in my 2011 BMW 535. So I'm going to do as quick as I can, walkthrough video on how to do it. Alright, some of the tools you'll need for doing the water pump. Some sockets. You need an E-torque set. So you need a ratchet, a breaker bar, and pry bar would be nice if you have any trouble with the hoses, taking them off, some pliers, and a little hook set, hook and pick set right here. You see some of them are longer than others. That helps to get any hoses out loose if any get stuck. And that's pretty much it. And a floor jack and jack stands. Oh, you might want a water bucket down under the car if you're worried about the radiator fluid coming out, because there is no drain port on the radiator that I know of. So when you take all the hoses off, it's going to really shoot the water and radiator fluid all over the floor. Alright, first thing we got to do is take the under belly off. This piece right here. You're going to use an 8mm. There's one right here in the center. And there's more over here in the back. Alright, once you get these last 4 ones off in the front, so which is a total of about 16 of these 8mm screws holding this under piece in. Now it should come out. There it goes. Looks like I missed one at the back. Alright, next I'm going to go and give it a vacuum because I got spider webs all over the place and leaves and stuff. Alright, so here's the pump here, a water pump. 2 bolts on the bottom, one on top, but everyone's saying the sway bar's in the way. So I'm gonna take it down. It looks pretty easy to do. I'm gonna move this. There's a little plastic thing in the way. There's a little bolt here on the back side. Gotta take that one out. Alright, there's a bolt on this side as well. Now I gotta take these sway bar bolts here loose on both sides. I don't have an E-torque this big, so what I'm using is a 9/16 12-point inside socket, and that's working just fine on a breaker bar. Alright, with the sway bar removed, you can see in there now, you can actually reach your hand in there and get these bolts out a little bit better and easier. Yeah, gotta loosen these bolts out, and then you got these hoses on the back. Alright, this is a 15mm right here. I'm sorry, that was a 16mm, the 15's in the back. Pop these off real quick. Just have to loosen it just to get this out of the way. I like to put my bolts back in just so I don't lose them. Next, we want to take these bolts out here. There's T30. And there's 2 on each side. There's one here, one here. These just lift up. And you want to loosen these, take these out as well. Next, you want to take this bolt out, this little tree thing. I use one of these these tools here and it comes right off. One on this side as well. Alright, there's two 13mm bolts right here that you gotta loosen out to get this bracket out. I'm gonna use a swivel right here so I don't break this plastic here on this side. And you can see there's two T30s right here as well, holding on to this bracket. Alright, last bolt, we got to get out this T40 right here. It's kind of at a weird angle. So I have a bit for that, but if I try to use it, you know, I can't get my ratchet in there because it goes into, sticks out too far. So we're going to use a T40 on and a 1/4 inch wrench. Just like this. Try to show you guys up close. Alright, this should come out now. Let's see. And it was just clipped on with this little wire with looks like the hood latch. Alright, put some electrical tape on this wire because this little piece that they put on it is just coming undone. So I put some electrical tape on the end, and there should be a tab here. Comes right out. Okay. Alright, so the fan there's a little tab here holding the fan. All you have to do is pull this thing. That's all that's holding on to the fan shroud. Alright. You can see this thing's all ready to come out. There it is. Alright, that's much better. Much better to get in here. To get to that pump there. Alright, so here's the new pump. I gotta take the top bolt out first. That's an E12. Again, that's an E12. And I found it easier for me to get to it from the bottom. Alright, so the secret to get that bolt out on top is use a swivel ratchet. Okay, this thing swivels like that. Just get in there from the bottom. Alright, I'm going to get the bottom ones next. Same E12 Torx bit, or E-torque. Really not torqued down too much. It came off pretty easy. Got those off, and the pump is loose. Okay. Now comes the messy part of undoing the clamp, the hose, and all this radiator fluid is going to fall on me. Alright, next we're going to try to catch the radiator fluid in this pan here, and 6mm is the size you need to undo the clamp. You use a screwdriver as well, but that never works as good as the 6mm on a little screwdriver attachment that I'm using. So this is going to gush all over the place and make a mess. There's a little harness here. Just push down and it should pop out. And this is when a pry bar comes in handy, just to get that little clip off. Okay. Got that clip off. This is what you want to use to get the hose. If you have trouble with the hose not coming off of the pump here. There's a hose here on the side and there's a hose on the back. That's the one I'm taking off right now, is the hose in the back. So you're gonna pry this in between the little, where the hose is to the end, and we'll try to get that loose. And when I get that thing loose, it's gonna squirt everywhere. It's already starting to. So yeah, just when I get it, try to get it on camera. Just want to get this in the crack here. There it goes. That's what I'm talking about, messy right there. Right. Well, my pen's doing an okay job. Alright, got the top clamp undone with just a regular screwdriver because I couldn't really reach it. And now this should come right out. See the top one undone up there? Alright. I probably could bring it up from the top. Alright, that was a pain in the butt to get out. Alright, next I'm going to take this little clip here. It holds the wire. And I'm going to put it on this side. So you just pull that out and this one just goes right up in there. There we go. Gotta push pretty hard to get it on. And it says Continental at the bottom, just like this one does. So it must be the OEM that I bought. And if anybody's wondering, I did get it from FCP Euro. And it came with the coolant antifreeze. A bottle of that. You get your BMW antifreeze. Engine water pump. Engine coolant thermostat bolts, which is this one right here, and engine coolant thermostat, which is this one right here by Mall or whatever they call it, and engine water pump bolt kit, which is just pretty much brand new bolts, same thing as what this one had, just new. Actually, these ones look a little longer. Let me see. Yep, they're a hair longer. And I did notice these were a little bit short. The threads only come out a couple threads. So that's good that they caught that. And they give you longer ones. Because when you put these in, check it out. When it's all the way in, from here you can't tell. Oh, you know what? This one doesn't have the bushing this one does. That's why it had to be longer. That's what I was noticing. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, because you see the factory ones, it's only a couple threads because they put this bushing on there. And you see this one's more metal from metal, a thicker metal right here, and this one's thinner metal, but they put that bushing to make up the difference. So yeah, these old bolts need to go. Those are garbage. I'm sure a lot of people like to use the factory stuff as much as they can, but if you don't want to do it if you're using a different manufactured part, because sometimes you have variations like that. Alright, installing the pump is pretty much do that in reverse order what we did to take it out, but I'm going to be doing the thermostat. So 1/4 inch wrench here takes off this top hose. Alright, that's loose, and I see this little connector here. Alright, I'm going to use my dental pick now. And that's for the clamp right here in the back here. So right here you just got to lift up this clip. Just like that. Pry bar. Just give it a little. Alright, for this one here, just get some pliers on it just like that. Squeeze and get that clamp up. just like that, and let go. And you should be able to just pull on it. And there it goes. And you can see right here there's another BMW clamp. You could pull up this little, there we go. There it is. And that one should be able to come right out. There it goes. So those two arteries are disconnected. These ones are, those two are loose. And you can see these two are disconnected right now. And these ones are loose. Only thing holding on it is that one hole right here. It looks like there's a torque spit down there, or e-torque down there. And just got to take the electrical wire off over here. Alright, that top clip I took out, it plugs right into here. And you see you can kind of, you have to kind of push down on this little piece here to get it out. A little tab. And the last e-torque screw is a E10. And you just put some extensions on there to loosen it up. Alright, after getting that bolt out, this thing's finally able to come out. Alright. And here's my new one. Always check your stuff, make sure it's exactly the same, because you never know. And then we'll just install it in the same fashion that we took it out. Alright, so I'm replacing this pump. It's August 5th, 2022. So I went and I wrote it on there, August 8th, 2022 with a marker, permanent marker. And if I upload this video on YouTube, I'll know when I replaced it as well. That's a good thing about making videos, is you know when you replace stuff and how you did it. Alright guys, got it all back installed. And it's a lot easier to install it back than it was to take it out. But don't let this task overwhelm you, or don't feel like you can't do it, because I was feeling like that too, because I never worked on this car. It's the first thing that I had to do on it. But it's actually pretty easy. Just do the step-by-step. Follow a video or follow this video and go step-by-step, and you'll be fine. Alright, I'm using a BMW antifreeze that came with the kit, and this is formulated for BMWs. It's blue in color, and it's a 50-50 mix. 50% distilled water or filtered water and 50% of this. Alright, just started up the car, and as you can see in there, the pump is working. You can see it through this hose here. It's shooting the fluid right into the bottle right here. Before, you wouldn't see any of that. It wasn't shooting anything. Now I'll let it get it to operating temperature. I'll turn it off, and then I'll do a bleed test on it. Alright guys, finished up the water pump and the thermostat. Made sure it's not leaking from down below before I put the cover on. And now the cover's on. It's looking real nice again. This car only has 72,000 miles on it. It's already gone bad, so, but it is a 2011. It's 11 years old, so I guess it goes both ways, either miles or age of the car. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. Save yourself the money. It's really not that hard. It's just got to take your time. This is my first time working on this car, and yeah. Oh, I forgot to plug in the fan here. Plug that one in. There we go. And now that's complete. I made sure I bled the system as well by holding down the gas pedal, turning up the heat, and putting it on low. And that's why I had the trickle charger on there, because it didn't have enough power to do it.